Hello everyone, and welcome back to Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Previously, the figurative, proverbial noose began to tighten as things really weren't looking good for Maki. However, some very interesting testimony has come about which has changed some perspectives. Maki is saying that the corpse was already in the room by the time he heard shots ring out, implying that some recording had staged the shooting. Sounds, I suppose. And now, Lamiroir is saying that the small window from which she heard the shooter talking was not the window in the dressing room, but the air vent above, which I do believe is part of the magic trick concocted by Valiant Gramarye. So it's getting a bit interesting here. I'm probably not too close to the end of this case, but it's coming to a head for sure. Right.
Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I had heard there was a small window there before. It was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I had heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I am bound to secrecy on this matter.
Oh, the judge isn't gonna like that. Bound to secrecy?
In my line of work, one has many obligations to uphold.
But you say you were in the middle of your performance. So this did happen during the second set?
I did not witness the crime, you must understand. I only know what I heard.
Yes, but you must tell us what you were doing in detail.
That's what the cross-examination is for, yeah, Ed? Our mission in this court is to discern the truth. No obligation, no binding pact may hinder that mission.
Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
What are you going to do, Apollo?
I'm going to find out the truth. She was up above that ceiling for a reason. I just have to get it out of her. So I didn't think there was anything outright a lie here. So I'll probably have to probe a bit and figure out what is a bit weird. Above the ceiling? Could you be more specific?
I cannot.
Because you're bound to secrecy.
Yes. To tell the truth, I was not supposed to even say I was above the ceiling. I dare not say more.
Doesn't sound like I'll be able to coax it out of her just by asking.
I had heard there was a small window there before.
By small window, you mean the air vent?
I only remembered I needed to be careful of where I put my hands and feet. I cannot see the light coming through the window, of course.
The air vent grate could trip you up, certainly. Especially if she was wearing high heels. Anyway.
So, I was walking very carefully when I heard the gunshots. Startled, I crouched and listened. That is when I heard his voice come from the room.
Darian's voice.
I knew something terrible had happened, yet it was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I had heard.
So, without a word, you just let the third set start.
After the curtain closed for the second set, there was still much to do.
You could have prevented it, this whole misunderstanding, if you had only told us sooner.
Yes, perhaps I could have.
I see little point in badgering the witness. What's done is done. The mind works differently when one is in the middle of a performance. Why, I've lost my voice in the middle of a show and kept on singing, completely unaware. Singing without a voice? only all contradictions were so obvious. If only I could get Lamiroir to talk. Pressuring her like this doesn't seem to be getting me anywhere. Ah. Well, that's the game telling me that I do need to present evidence.
As to why I was there, I cannot say.
You heard the gunshots during the second set during your performance. You're quite sure?
Yes. Why would I lie about the time?
Why didn't you tell us this yesterday?
No one asked me. I thought you all knew. I told you Maki was not the killer. I told you this many times.
Yes, you did. But you never told us why.
I am sorry. I was not able to speak of it.
Unable or unwilling?
She's not talking, Apollo. What do we do?
We'll just have to prove it ourselves. As long as she is bound by this pact of silence, she won't talk. But if I can prove why she was up there, she'll have to admit it.
But how are you going to do that? She was singing on the stage, Apollo. She couldn't have been up above the ceiling, too.
Yes, she could. I've got a theory as to why, too. And maybe I've got the evidence to prove it. It's bound to secrecy, but maybe with who? Exactly who bound you to secrecy?
I'm not sure I'm allowed to say who it was. No, I think perhaps that is alright. It is just a name, after all. It was Valent Grammary. Perhaps you know him?
Valent Grammary? What?
You mean Uncle Valent?
Wow, these guys need to catch up. What? Valent Grammary? Wait, he knows Valent? Who's Valent Grammary? Yeah, that's more like it.
A grand magician. The one responsible for the illusion performed during our concert.
Ooh, Clavier doesn't like that. Interesting reaction, Prosecutor Gavin. Lamiroir was bound to secrecy. It's going to take some hard-hitting proof to make her talk. I think I know why she was up there. But how do we prove it? Okay. Maybe it can show evidence on any of these, hopefully. So what proves that she was part of a trick? The diagram? It does show where the vent goes, but it doesn't really show connecting between the stage and the tower where she reappeared after she disappeared. Maybe the brooch? Maybe she dropped it in there as she was going along, because the air vent was lying directly above where the brooch was dropped. Maybe I really do just go with the cross-section blueprint. But it doesn't feel quite right to me. But it's really the only thing relevant, so... Okay. That's a problem. That statement contradicts this evidence. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Okay. I was thinking, but thinking is hard. My brain hurts. Oh, as to why I was there, I cannot say. Yeah, we need to point out why she was there. So we do it on this, right? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. This is bad. I'm losing health. A lot of health. What? You don't suppose the remote trigger was... It's not only correlating to the igniters, but also the disappearing trick? Because the guitar got set on fire at the exact moment Lamiroir disappeared, so hitting the button was the trigger for like a trap door that would drop her down into the air vent. And maybe these jury-rigged looking igniters were adapted to the magic trick? Like maybe the igniter wasn't specifically for these. Maybe these igniters are just piggybacking off of the original function of the trigger. Oh wait, the videotape. That shows her disappearance. I can fast forward, looks like. This part. Oh man, you can see sparks flying up in his guitar. Whoa. Yep, there's that friggin' brooch! Wait, if it... Okay, so if it was sparking up... before she disappeared, then... Oh. Well, maybe... Maybe we really did go with this. This does show the trick. Oh, okay. Lamiroir, truth be told, the reason for your presence above that ceiling is quite clear. Especially when you consider what happened during your performance. Yeah, I just mentally glazed over this, because I was looking through all the evidence. My brain saw this as a videotape, and thought nothing of it. But it's like the contents of the tape are what matter, of course.
What happened?
Yes, it's all right here on this video. I wonder if there are any covers of this song on YouTube. I should look this up later. Yeah, wow, Lamiroir really didn't have a lot of time to get over there, did she? Oh my god, I can see the little line in the ground beneath her. Wow, that is like just pixels, but you can see the trapdoor. Oh my god. Bravo. As we can see, Lamiroir was clearly not on stage for her entire performance. More like a fourth of her performance? Oh. Though it saddens me to be so realistic, Lamiroir is incapable of actually vanishing, let alone teleportation. So the only explanation is that she was hidden from view. and during that time she moved to the back of the forum.
Apollo!
What, Trucy?
It's not nice to reveal a magician's secrets, and it's against the rules.
But I'm a lawyer, not supposed to be nice. This is all very fascinating. But how is it possible? There is only 20 seconds between when she disappears and reappears. She couldn't have moved that fast. Is something wrong, Prosecutor Gavin? This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed. Aha! He's just realizing his own oversight. Let's look at the cross-section diagram again. Here, we can trace a route through the ceiling. It goes from the stage, through the backstage to the rear of the forum. Oh. Recall Lamiroir's testimony from yesterday.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it.
She went from the stage to the backstage exit. A perfect description of this route above the ceiling. Lamiroir knew of this because of her part in the illusion. But she wasn't the only one who knew. What? Just now in the lobby, Maki told me something. I know if I open vent, I can leave stage and backstage. He said that? Oh, were you not informed, Prosecutor Gavin? I knew about the Vanishing Act, of course. Yet I had no idea of the route that would be used. Why didn't that magician tell me?
Magicians only reveal details of their acts on a need-to-know basis. They're the bread and butter of a magician's life, you know.
Which is why he bound Lamiroir to secrecy. Well, Lamiroir? Man, I had bread and butter as part of my dinner today. It was good.
I am impressed, Mr. Attorney. Maki was right about you.
So, what does this mean? Are you saying you used this route above the ceiling?
I did.
Well, that's that. But I'm still a little confused. Why is that, Your Honor? As I said before, there was very little time between when she disappeared and when she reappeared. 20 seconds, tops. How could she do it so fast, especially if she stopped to look through the window? That's a good question. Can the witness explain this to the court?
I cannot.
There were two Lamiroirs. One with a brooch, one without. The real one was without. Very well, Mr. Justice.
Yes?
It's all up to you. Do your thing.
What thing, Your Honor?
You need to explain how Lamiroir was able to teleport like she did. Or I'm throwing your case out with the bathwater. Wow, how old is he? To use that sentence? Ugh. Why do I get picked on? It's Lamiroir who isn't going along with the program here.
As I have stated before, I am not at liberty to speak of the illusion that night in detail.
Then you'll just have to tell us what you can. We'll hear your testimony on this. Mr. Justice, it will be your job to wring the truth out of her.
Yes, if you would, please.
Right. I feel like a student before finals.
Good luck, Apollo.
The big illusion.
I followed the route exactly as I was instructed. there was an emergency exit in the backstage, where a stagehand waited. From there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side from the stage. The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. I was on my way when I heard the voice.
2 minutes? 2 minutes, you say? The mystery deepens. I suppose it was too much to hope that the judge would come up with something. As does my curiosity. Take it away, Mr. Justice. Right, Your Honor. All I have to do is find the contradiction between what Lamiroir is saying and what we can see plainly in the video.
I figured it out already. I am a magician after all.
Well, tell me.
Not a chance.
I can't reveal another magician's secrets. Come on. Hey, you're supposed to be on my side here. Oh, man. Well, clearly this whole 2 minutes thing is completely false. How did you, proceed along this route?
How? Why, I walked.
But you arrived behind the forum much too fast to have been walking. Tell the truth, Lamiroir. You rode some kind of vehicle. What? A vehicle? What vehicle? Ah, what a novel idea. I like it.
Hey, that's not a bad guess. Wrong, but not bad.
Yes, laugh at the dumb attorney. I don't mind.
I'm sorry, but the girl is right. That vent was much too small for vehicles. It was a tight fit. Even I had to crouch as I walked. I cannot imagine a vehicle that would fit in such a small space.
Ah, if it wasn't a vehicle, what was it? You had me going for a while there, Mr. Justice. Too bad. Ready for the next part? Why do I feel like I'm on some kind of quiz show? Yeah, the judge is getting too much enjoyment out of this.
There is an emergency exit in the backstage where a stagehand waited.
Did everyone on the concert staff know about the trick?
Not all. Only a few that were needed to help. See? Like I said, it's on a need-to-know basis.
So, not many people knew about the trick. What were these stagehands required to do?
One needed to open the emergency exit. The door to the stairs is locked, but once through there... From there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side from the stage.
So when you came back out, you were behind the audience?
Yes, that is how it worked.
Not a bad show, if I do say so myself.
That's Uncle Valent for you. The old grammary touch.
But on the video, you were only gone for 20 seconds. How was that possible? That's the part I don't get either.
Yes, it would be hard to go so far in only 20 seconds. The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yes, it can be done in 1 minute if you are running.
Running? In that cramped, dark tunnel above the ceiling?
Ah, Mr. Attorney, have you forgotten? Dark or lit, it makes no difference to me.
Ah, that's true, but... So you're saying that on the night of the concert you made the trip in 2 minutes?
Yes, though I nearly didn't make it in time. You see, I stopped halfway.
Lamiroir disappeared on the video for 20 seconds. But she says she made the trip in 2 minutes. How?
If you want my professional opinion, I'll bet the answer's right there in that video.
It is. Well, Mr. Justice, perhaps you have some evidence for us. Something that can explain the discrepancy between the video and her testimony. Evidence explaining the discrepancy. Yeah, I'm willing to stake it right on the brooch. It's time. There's one piece of evidence that explains the discrepancy between video and testimony. Lamiroir, do you happen to remember this brooch? Aha, that brooch. We saw that yesterday, did we not? It is pronounced brooch, right? Because I've kind of been just saying that for the last few videos. And at no point did I think to look it up for sure. It was found at the scene, Your Honor. And you're bringing this up now. Why? I thought we had already determined when that was dropped. So did I. But we hadn't. Take another look at the video. It's just me, are those eyes blue? Here, you can see she's wearing the brooch. So she is. Let's look a bit later. What? The brooch? It's gone. What? Yes. The brooch disappeared in the short space of 20 seconds, and it takes a full minute to run from the stage to the backstage. Which means there can be only one explanation. The Lamiroir we see before the vanishing act and the Lamiroir we see after are two different people. I nailed it. What? The brooch was found on the floor at the crime scene. And not just on the floor, but on the floor directly beneath the air vent. Bingo. Lamiroir, tell me, did you drop the brooch on your way from the stage to the backstage? At the very moment you witnessed the crime?
Yes, I think I did.
Order! Prosecutor Gavin!
From your expression, I gather you had no idea this was the case, Air Judge. I, of course, knew about it.
What?
Don't get me wrong, I wasn't hiding it, it just never occurred to me that the switch and the shooting took place at the same time.
So, I was right? There was a switch?
There was. Just before the stage's tower rose, Lamiroir was replaced.
While we're on the subject, just who was this replacement Lamiroir?
Why, the man behind the illusion, Valiant Gramarye.
What? Wow. Man of many faces.
It was Gramarye? That's quite the illusion. But I still don't get one thing. Yes? The switch happened before the tower rose, correct? So you weren't on the stage. That's right. But this, fake Lamiroir is still singing? And she's pretty good.
That's true.
Come on, Apollo, that's an easy one. They were just playing a recording.
The Gaviners aren't some kind of air guitar band, Fräulein. Wait, doesn't he do air guitar in court all the time?
Oh, you mean I'm wrong?
When we play a show live, we play live. No recordings. Perhaps you can explain, Lamiroir?
Very well.
Yes, do tell, and add it to your testimony.
I had to keep singing, even while I moved.
Wow.
You were singing? Yes. Mr. Gavin expressed a dislike for recordings, so I used this.
Wait, So you were singing the whole time? Even when you were crawling above the ceiling toward the backstage?
Why should it matter where I sing, when everywhere I go is the same darkness?
But if you were singing while you were walking...
That's right. Wouldn't the shooter and victim have heard? She was singing right over their heads, after all.
That is right. I think the footsteps would be way louder. Like, air vents aren't nearly as quiet as they are in movies. They're loud. Are you sure? You'd have to be pretty hard of hearing to miss someone singing in the ceiling. Once again, we come back to state of the scene of the crime. What state?
Ack! I know what he means. That old speaker, Apollo.
The speaker? That speaker was blaring at the time of the murder.
Ah, that's for monitoring the stage from this room. Monitoring? It pipes in a real-time feed from the stage microphone. Useful for knowing when your set is coming up.
Satisfied? That dressing room was fitted with a large speaker playing a direct feed from the stage. At my request, actually. So Lamiroir singing in the ceiling sounded just like Lamiroir singing over the speaker. Ingenious, her voice was hidden by her voice.
Ah.
Lamiroir?
I have just remembered something.
Do tell.
When I heard the noise, the gunshots, yes? It startled me, so I stopped singing.
What?
I forgot the words I was supposed to sing.
The song stopped?
Thankfully, it was the very beginning of the second verse, so not many would notice.
Forehead, that mixing board I lent you, where is it? The mixing, huh?
That machine, Apollo, the one that breaks music into tracks.
Oh, this. I had completely forgotten about it. What, he added on him? Let's take a listen. So it'd be after she disappears, right? No, that's Valent right now. On stage. Should begin now. There was kind of a pause before the lyrics began. The song does stop there. It does? I must have missed it. Look at the lyrics sheet at the top of the second verse. She only said pleasure once. Oh, wow. See where it says pleasure, pleasure? Now listen again. Wow, that was in front of me the entire time. Wow. This is evidence indeed. I believe we are guilty of making a terrible mistake. The crime didn't happen during the third set. It happened during the second, during Lamiroir's ballad. If that is true, then no one on stage during the second set could have been the shooter. Yeah. Maki is completely and utterly exonerated by that. Which means that Darian Crescent could have done it. He wasn't on stage for the second set. Uh-oh.
Well, Prosecutor Gavin?
Fascinating. I don't believe I've ever seen a trial turned around quite so thoroughly. Yet one problem remains. What's that, Prosecutor Gavin? Air Forehead's theory does have a certain kind of logic to it. Yet it is entirely based upon Lamiroir's testimony. Yes? Is there a problem with this? Well, it's quite simple, though it pains me to say it. What if she is lying to protect the defendant? But you have no proof. All I'm saying is that the truth is yet unclear, until we hear directly from the man himself. The man? You don't mean... Yes. Though he is a friend and band member, Darian Crescent must take the stand. I see no other way. As someone with a new perspective on this case? As a suspect, to be frank. Wow. It seems Clavier isn't all that interested in protecting Darian. He's willing to let the full gaze of the law fall upon his friend. That's interesting. Finally, the rat's coming out of his hole, and I'm ready to catch him. Darian Crescent, get ready for justice. This is as good a time as any to pause for a brief recess. The prosecution will summon the witness. Have him here and ready by the time we begin. I'm the last man who needs to be reminded of what his duties are. Very well. Court is adjourned for a 15-minute recess. I like how they're completely just gliding over the fact that Maki just got exonerated. But that's Ace Attorney for you. You can't just prove innocence, you have to prove who the real murderer is.
Apollo, I can't believe it. It really happened during the second act? And right in the middle of Lamiroir's performance?
Why she was in that air vent and that switch in the flaming guitar? When you link it all together, that's what you end up with. I knew you had what it took? Hey!
Ah, Daddy!
Mr. Wright, you believed in me? Not really. I love this man. Huh? I just thought that'd make a cooler entrance and say, hiya. Why do I even bother hoping?
Where have you been lately, Daddy?
Yeah, he's been on some secret mission.
You haven't been coming to the office at all.
Ah, sorry about that, Trucy. I'm on a secret mission.
Secret? You mean like you're undercover?
Like Mr. Latouche, only shorter and not as well dressed?
Oh no! What if you're shot too, Daddy?
like that could ever happen. Wait. Okay, no, wait. Phoenix has been through a lot, but I don't think he's ever been shot. Let's see. He was tased. He had scalding coffee thrown at him. He's been whipped. He's jumped off a bridge. Oh, and he ate glass. That too. Poison glass. I don't think he's ever been shot yet. That's actually kind of surprising. Would I do a thing like that to you? Anyway, I'm off for a while again. Huh? You're leaving? Oh, one thing before I go. Oh, what? Good luck. Alright. Yeah, he has no idea what this case is, does he? He just keeps staying vague. Is that all you came to say? I think you have things pretty much under control. You'll get Maki Tabai off the hook, no doubt. Okay, so he does know. Yeah, but you're after that detective, aren't you? Darian Crescent. It won't be easy proving he did it. Especially not under the current court system. The current court system? What did Prosecutor Gavin say during the trial? Your case is based on one fragile assumption. Namely that our diva divine is telling the truth.
But what about all the proof? The brooch and the switch.
A piece of jewelry and a lyrical blunder. There are plenty of other ways to explain these things. The flaming guitar, too. All because you lack definitive proof of their connection to the case.
But
if the sultry songstress is lying, your case smells like butter in a frying pan, leaving behind the faintly singed scent of failure.
so what do I do?
Like I said, good luck. And be aware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Oh, that reminds me. I have something to give you from our detective friend.
Detective Sky? Emma?
Let's see. This bag of snacks here was meant for me. Here it is. What the heck is that? A broken key, or...?
What are those, Daddy? They don't look like very good snacking material.
They were found at the scene. Analysis of the fragments revealed traces of gunpowder.
Gunpowder?
Probably a firecracker or something similar, like the ones kids are into these days. Wait. Oh no. I just had a thought. A thought that I will expand upon in a moment. These fragments were found under the sofa at the scene of the crime, actually. Under the sofa?
Hey, Apollo! That's where we found that little device thingy.
Right, this. Well, finally, some evidence that makes sense. Oh! Okay, wait. Oh, man. Oh, I love how this game just played with my expectations here. Possibly a firecracker. So I was thinking, oh god, Phoenix, what are you doing? Is this another piece of forged evidence? What the hell, man? But no. The extra gunshots that rang out as Maki walked in the door, while the body was already on the ground. Well, I say body, but it was still alive at that point. The lighter lit up these firecrackers that simulated the gunshots. There's a strong possibility they're real then. Noisemaker. I don't know, man. It could be real, it could be fake. Oh man, Phoenix, you have me guessing. That's all for me, I suppose. See you after the verdict. Maybe. Right. Every man has an igniter inside him. Excuse me? Find Darian Crescent's igniter and set it off. And he walked out the door just like a magician. Normally.
What does he want us to do? No Unconventional methods? What does that mean?
It means we can't just use evidence alone to prove our point. We're gonna have to get Darian Crescent to slip up. I guess we just have to take his advice and hope it makes sense when the time comes.
I guess.
We're almost at the finish line. Hang in there, Trucy. Court is now back in session. Prosecutor Gavin, where is Detective Crescent?
In the witness lounge, ready to be called in at any time.
Very well.
Might I add, I don't believe any of this. Darian, was the first detective I ever worked with. We stopped working together when he moved to Criminal Affairs, Division 3. But his guitar playing, it fires my imagination. That's nice, but it has nothing to do with the matter at hand. Correct? Oh, I know, Air Forehead.
Very well. Call the final witness to the stand. Detective Darian Crescent.
Name and occupation, please.
Darian Crescent, Detective, Criminal Affairs Division 3. That's the International Affairs Division, for those of you who didn't know. And I'm a guitarist for the Gaviners. Maybe you've heard of us? Do you fully understand the circumstances under which you stand before us today? Yeah, I understand, Your Honor. What I don't understand is how you let this happen, partner. You gave me your word I wouldn't be standing here.
The situation's changed, Darian. And don't call me partner.
So much for old friends.
I see what you're doing, Darian. You're pressing the prosecution. Your Honor, if we could begin the trial?
Yes, it's high time we did. Let's hear your testimony. You may begin with your response to Lamiroir's testimony. If, in fact, you have anything to say about it. Oh, I got plenty to say. Lying must be a national pastime in Virginia. And wherever you're from, Mr. Justice. Ha!
Conventional methods are out the window, huh? Here goes nothing.
Let's take a crack at it. The diva's lying, plain and simple. She's got nothing to back up her story. In the first place, she never heard my voice. She forgot the words because she heard gunshots? As if. Didn't Detective Emma Skye hear those gunshots during the third set, anyway? The shooting took place when I was on stage, man. So you claim Lamiroir's testimony was a lie? Hey, don't get me wrong. I dig what she's doing, trying to protect that kid. And she's got the court eating vague statements out of her hand just because she's blind.
You go too far, Darian.
Look, all I'm saying is, you've got a reliable witness. Why not listen to the detective? Detective Skye? I see. Mr. Justice, you may begin your cross-examination.
He didn't waste any time finding our weak spot. I can't do this with Lamiroir's testimony alone. I'll have to find some other way to prove when the shooting took place.
Well, I kind of want to use the firecrackers on that final statement, but it's probably for the best if we press this bit by bit, and thank God my health got restored. Oh boy. You don't have any proof she was lying. Oh yeah, kid? You saying I lied?
No, I'm just saying, Apollo, glare back at him.
I couldn't help it. I flinched by reflex. Detective Crescent. Yeah? What do you want?
Oh, nothing. Apollo, chin up, back straight, you're wilting.
This guy's hard as nails. He makes Walkie look downright cooperative. He actually does. Look, there's no way the diva remembers my voice. In the first place, she never heard my voice. You never talked to her, even though you were playing the same concert? Not a word, as far as I can recall. But weren't there planning sessions or something? Gavin took care of all that himself. Darian wasn't involved in any of the meetings with her.
Ugh.
As if you can just go around remembering everyone's voice like that anyway. Only an idiot would believe that. Lamira's hearing is very sensitive. She could remember him if she heard him, I'm sure of it. I just can't prove it. And I need proof. She forgot the words because she heard gunshots? As if. We know she missed the words. The mixing board proved it. Oh yeah, there was a mistake. But blaming it on gunshots is just a lame excuse. What do you mean? The mixing board proves what? It proves there was a mistake in the song. A missed cue. So, she just flubbed it up big time, that's all. She spins the story about a gunshot to protect the kid. Cover for her own goof. Man, I'd have to hand it to her. If she wasn't sticking it to me at the same time. Darian, watch what you say. Lamira is an artist. She just flubbed it up. That's no small accusation for a performer of her caliber. When you remember that Clavier was chewing Darian out for flubbing it up, this actually becomes kind of hilarious. She got to you all right. I can see it in your eyes. I tell you, most of her stuff is so pretentious it's way over my head. I'm detecting a rift in the Gavinor's ranks. Anyway, she's too close to the defendant. Her testimony can't be trusted. You ask me, I'd go with Detective Sky's story at the drop of a pick. Didn't Detective Emma Sky hear those gunshots during the third set anyway? Actually, I was there too. So I hear. Which means you heard them too, right? The gunshots? Yes. We heard gunshots. Neither I nor Emma actually saw the shooting, mind you. I guess you and Lamiroir got the same excuse then. We know one thing for certain here. There were gunshot-like sounds that emanated from the room during the third set. What we must determine is whether those sounds were actually gunshots.
Maki heard them too. Remember he said he ran for the air duct when he heard them?
So, how do we figure out just what those gunshots during the third set were? Do we contradict here? The shooting took place when I was on stage? But no, we're trying to point out the firecrackers, aren't we? The firecrackers went off during the third set, so no. Oh, wait, that was the final thing. Oh, wait. I need to press that last sentence. That could have been what the shooter wanted us to think. I'll tell you what the shooter, that kid, wants you to think. He wants you to think the diva heard me in that room. Ack! I'm back to relying on Lamiroir's testimony. As much as I'm enjoying the Darian and Forehead show, there's no need for such tempers. Don't make us into some comedy duo. This means the Gavin and Darian show's cancelled. Neither of your claims can be proven or disproved. We could argue for days like this and get nowhere. Prosecutor Gavin is quite right. This court will hear no further discussion on this topic without new facts. New facts, huh?
He's pretty eager to paint Lamiroir as a liar, isn't he?
Yeah, okay. She's got nothing to back up her story. Honestly, that might be true. But the relay has been handed to us, and it's up to us to prove it. Lamiroir said all she can say, but she has no proof. No hard evidence. She never heard my voice. Could I use the headpiece on this? Like the entire crew was communicating with each other. All concert staff wore one. I'll have to file this away for later. I'm not 100% sure about using this evidence on that. Okay, actually, I do have a contradiction for this. He's saying Emma Skye heard those gunshots during the third set. But no, Emma did not hear gunshots. Emma heard the oh-so-conveniently supplied burnt fragments. Objection! Some things were found at the crime scene after yesterday's trial. What things? The first was this small device. That's a remote-triggered igniter. Correct. And one more thing. What are those? The remains of something burnt? Not another guitar, I hope. Traces of gunpowder are found on these fragments. How does he know this? Didn't Phoenix just supply these? Oh, wait, no. Phoenix said that Emma gave them to him, so... Yeah, I guess Emma must have told Clavier, too. We have a report it was something like a firecracker. How did Gavin know about this? What, do you think Detective Skye works for you? I received the report this morning, before coming here. That's when I made my decision, actually. What decision is this, Prosecutor Gavin? I registered Darian as a witness in today's trial. Ooh, spicy. Just in case. Even Clavier's smelling something rank here. This raises another possibility. Those gunshot-like sounds during the third set, could have been two firecrackers rigged to go off by remote control. You got an active imagination, don't you? But you shouldn't say every little thing you think. Your explanation there seems a bit too convenient to me. How so? So, you're saying these firecrackers just happened to go off, right when two witnesses came walking by?
That's right. Darian was out on stage when it happened, Apollo. How would he know someone was backstage right then?
The headset. dropped on the ground, right there. If a firecracker goes off in the forest and there's no one there to hear, you get my drift? Why go through the trouble, man? Irk! How do I explain this? He may not look it, but Darian is a gifted detective. That's an insult, isn't it? Show any weakness and he's sure to find it. He may not look it, partner. Gee, thanks, man. That reminds me. I happened to pass through that very hallway several times that day myself. And I saw something odd there just before the third set. Something odd? A headset. The kind all of the band and staff members were wearing. Wow, he's the one pointing this out. That's right. We picked this up in front of the door to that dressing room. What if that headset wasn't dropped, but placed? And what if it was turned on? You could hear what was going on in that hallway, even if you were out on stage. Whose side are you on, Gavin? Listen to me, Darian. There are no sides in a court of law. Yes! Thank you! Good lord! Tell that to Edgeworth and Von Karma and the other Von Karma. Oh, and Diego. Yeah, him too. Which is why I now turn to you, Air Forehead. I have a question for you. Uh-huh. For me? The igniter and the burnt fragments that were found at the scene of the crime. It's certainly a possibility that they were part of a ruse to fake the sound of gunshots. Throw the headset from the hallway into the mix and you could fabricate an alibi. But we're still no closer to proving anything. Those gunshots might have been real or fake. We can't say. Ugh. You've raised the possibility that the shots heard during the third set were faked. Now you need to prove the other half of the case. The other half? Look, I'll just tell him. He wants you to prove the thing went down in the second act, while a little piano player was on stage. That right, Gavin? Indeed. If you can't prove it, then to continue this cross-examination would be pointless. Well, Mr. Justice, can you prove the crime took place during the second set?
Yeah, I think. You'd better know, Apollo. Otherwise, we're through.
It can be proven. You make it sound like someone else is going to come along and do it for you. Let's continue with the cross-examination then, shall we? Witness your testimony if you would. This isn't going to be easy. I need some decisive proof and fast. You ready, kid? 'Cause I am. The shooting took place during the second set. If you're so sure, let's see your proof. Okay, so this is still technically part of the very first cross-examination with this guy. Even still, I need to end things here because if I prove this, there's no telling when the next conceivable place to stop will be, so yeah, I need to end things here. What do I think it could be? The best thing I can think of is that I use the soundboard to point out Darian's own mess-up that happened during the second set. That said, there is a big hole in this. The guitar went on fire during the second set, and yet the gunshots, well, the fake gunshots in the third set with the firecrackers did not go off at that point. So if there's a 30-yard radius, how could we prove Darian was in a specific spot? We can't yet, but there's definitely a lot of leeway that could allow for the guitar to go on fire, but not the firecrackers planted under the couch. Man, there has to be a reason that Darian was so eager to get into the Colosseum. He wanted to remove some critical evidence. Man. Well, this is a question for future Zephyr to answer. So, yeah, next time, we might just finish this. What is this, the third case, right? I think it's the third. The first one was the intro with Shady Smith and the bar and the Russia O'Reilly lady, or Orly. Second was the park mess with the noodle stand. This is the third case, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm excited to see more, so I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.